Hello. This is Antje from Byte Shuffle. Thank you for always watching our videos. This time, I've put together my approach to playing Doomsday against Sneak and Show, along with my thoughts on sideboarding for the matchup. There's also a link to the pile breakdown video in the description, so feel free to check it out. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. Since I'm not playing the turbo build this time, I'm fine keeping a hand like this. I start applying pressure with Tamiyo. The opponent cast Ponder and chose not to shuffle. I'm digging for Doomsday. I put Dark Ritual back first, followed by the Surveil land. I activate Tamiyo's 2 ability. I'm digging for Doomsday. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I'll use discard to check what's ahead. I draw a card from the clue. I use Tamiyo's ability to return a spell from the graveyard to my hand. I'll use discard to check what's ahead. I'll counter it with Daze. I took out Show and Tell. I'm digging for Doomsday. I'm digging for Doomsday. I stack a fetch land, consider Doomsday, then draw. I'm going all in. From here, I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. I expect my opponent's next play to be stock up, digging for interaction. I plan to line up Force of Will there and build my pile so I can go for it on the following turn. In case the opponent's combo comes together faster than expected, I set things up so I can use their Show and Tell to put Thassa's Oracle into play. For that reason, I place Cavern of Souls underneath Thassa's Oracle in the pile. The rest of the pile is filled with cyclers to dig through it as quickly as possible. I constructed the pile in the following order: Cavern of Souls, Thassa's Oracle, Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith. I'll counter it with Force of Will. Using the pile opener to start drawing through the pile. I use Tamiyo's ability to return a spell from the graveyard to my hand. I'll choose Wizard and win the game with Thassa's Oracle. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. These are the cards in Sneak and Show that impact Doomsday. First are counterspells such as Force of Will, Flusterstorm, Force of Negation, and Consign to Memory, as well as Pyroblast and Veil of Summer. To answer these, I bring in Force of Negation and Duress. To be honest, Force of Negation isn't particularly strong here, but since this is a tempo-oriented Doomsday build, we're short on dedicated combo hate, so I cite it in. In exchange, I trim Daze and Edge of Autumn. I also cut Murktide Regent. This is because it becomes an easy target for Pyroblast and doesn't function as an effective clock in this matchup. Dauthi Voidwalker is slightly better than Murktide Regent in this matchup, so I swap it in instead. Next is Mistrise Village. Once the opponent develops enough mana, it can invalidate our counterspells. In this case, since we're running Wasteland, we're able to deal with the opponent's Mistrise Village. However, the opponent usually doesn't activate Mistrise Village until the game has progressed quite a bit. Before using Wasteland on Mistrise Village, I think it's often better to consider targeting the opponent's Ancient Tomb or Tropical Island instead. Next is Magus of the Moon. If the opponent is on Temur colors and running Veil of Summer, my impression is that Magus of the Moon is often not included. However, when possible, prioritizing basic lands when searching helps prevent color screw, so it's something you should always keep in mind. I keep, since I have multiple combo pieces and counter spells. My opponent shuffled off a Ponder. I start applying pressure with Tamio. I'm going to dig for hand disruption. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I use a cycler to transform Tamio. I activate Tamio's 2 ability. I'm going all in. From here, I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. Since my Tamio has already flipped, it's questionable whether the opponent will use a counterspell here, but internally, I was actually hoping they would counter my Doomsday. I felt that if I didn't act first, my opponent would be able to play around days on their next turn and then combo off with a backup plan in place. Since my Doomsday ended up resolving, the opponent either has combo pieces in hand or is holding multiple copies of Consigned to Memory, but at this point it's difficult to tell which. I suspected they had drawn into multiple combo pieces and were holding a hand with only a single counterspell. I built the pile so that I could put Thassa's Oracle into play off the opponent's show and tell, while also minimally playing around Consigned to Memory. I built the pile as Thassa's Oracle Duress Thassa's Oracle Street Wraith. I'll use discard to check what's ahead. I'll counter it with Force of Will. I use Tamio's ability to return a spell from the graveyard to my hand. It looks like they're holding Consigned to Memory and I'm likely to lose, but I'll go for it anyway and see what happens. In Game 3, I boarded out Lion's Eye Diamond and brought 1 copy of Days back in. I'm looking for a faster hand, so I'll take a mulligan. I put Cavern of Souls on the bottom. I start applying pressure with Tamio. Since my opponent can't use Days, I draw a card from the clue first. I'll counter it with Force of Negation. I really want either Wasteland or some hand disruption. In a bit of desperation, I deploy Orcish Bowmasters. The opponent cast Ponder and chose not to shuffle. I'm going to dig for Wasteland. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I activate Tamio's 2 ability. I forgot to play a land here, which is a pretty critical mistake. I'll counter it with Force of Will. Thank you for watching up to this point. I apologize for the many play mistakes. I hope to improve at MTG together with everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. See you next time. This is Antya.